Hey, good morning, everybody. Still getting ready here. Take a look at. I'm thinking of either Apple or Tesla this morning. We have just not really. There's really no news, but there's this general feeling that we may be overbought on everything. I'm noticing, but it's kind of like the general theme, it seems. So it's a little, concerning that things are about, and everybody's kind of worried about what the Fed's going to do on Friday, and Jackson Hole, no, I think it's what he called. What's he going to say? And everybody's praying that he's going to say that he's going to reduce he's going to lower by at least 25 to 50 basis points, which the market will just take off. I hope he really does do that. I think it's definitely okay to do that with the data. It's to the point now where he would just be too conservative, I think. Of course, there's all the stuff that the data might be getting skewed to make it look, changing the jobs report to be better than it really is. I don't know. Oh, somewhere up here is the... Yeah, right there. All right, so that's 35.12. And that bottom is, what was that bottom level at? I have to move it over. 201.05. Oh, 5 or 50? Wait, was it? It must have been 50, right? Yeah, 50. Okay. So let's get Apple marked out because that might be our go-to consolidation one for today. I hate to take those kind of algorithm moves down here, but that's what we got, and everybody else will probably do that, so... See if we've got anything else historical data-wise here. Yeah, a lot of the historical patterns, just to go further back, that people are taking for bigger trades are not working. They're just being completely wrong. It's like, people are starting to question. This happens every few years that people start to question historical data when nothing hits the targets they say, Those are right in between the fibs, both of those. This might actually, look at that, it rested right along that and didn't make it to the fib. That's this one. Those highs from a few days ago. I guess I should mark this one too. See if I can smooth that. This is a little better area here where it respected it more. Oh, is that doing that again? Yeah, this is supposed to be none. And let's try that again. So let's smooth it there. Okay. Oh, that's right on that fib. Okay. Well, that's our Apple. We'll see what's going to happen here. By the way, this is a professor with Day Trading for Success. If you just come on or you're new, and we're going to do some scalping this morning based on sort of based on the RV strategy setup where we do two fibs. We do Fibonacci levels on a 5-minute 10-day chart, and then a Fibonacci levels on a 5-minute 10-day chart, and then a 5-minute 2-day chart. And we use those to mark historical data. Then we look where the stock price has abruptly turned around, and we mark those. And that's basically how we're going to trade, and that's based on day trading volume 1 for large caps. But then we're going to use price action, which is sort of even more important. You want to look at price action, then you use indicators, special indicators that the prop firms use to help us along with that. And I'll be calling those out as they come into play, and they often will come into play on nearly every trade I take. So it's important to get the right indicators. So let's see what we got here. Well, it wasn't going to let me do it. There it is. So we'll get the Fibonacci low. This can be either left to right. I mean, this can be either high to low, but always left to right. Now I got to scan it over the old-fashioned way here. So I tried that deal that one of the subscribers mentioned where you set this so it hits the body of the candle. The problem is that I have to take it off to do all my support and resistance levels, which aren't always on the body of the candle. So it's quicker just to do this right here, but I appreciate you trying to help. I understood what you were doing there, and I can't figure out a way where it's quicker to do it the way I'm doing it now still, which still kind of stinks, but this is the quicker way to set. Now this one's going to be from high to low. The other one was from low to high. It doesn't matter. It's always left to right. That's what you have to remember. Look at that. I came back and hit it right there. This is why fib levels are so important, because they do get respected again, meaning they will go and then trigger a response. See, it was low here, and then it, tapped and turned around, or you could go back. I mean, here's where I marked it, but I mean, basically it's keeping that same level. Now let's look at historical data on Tesla. Tesla saved me. I came back Friday trading Tesla and got green for our goal, which was our goal every day is $150 to $500 a day based on using sort of just scalping. It's just scalping. So you don't really need a strategy to scalp. As you get better, you can just pick up a chart, start marking the levels of the intraday, and call them as you see them. Every little bit that you have, every little bit of historical data, every little indicator, of course, makes it easier for you to succeed. So I advise, and I'm not sure if I'd call this a strategy as much as just an intelligent way to give you possible support and resistance levels. I hit here, but then I smoothed it across by moving it just slightly where it might hit again. Now we're way out of that range, so that'll probably never come into play. Let's see about here. Now if the fibs pick it up, there's no sense marking this, but they don't. What I find with Tesla is I prefer to trust the real intraday that's happening rather than these historical. It doesn't mean I don't want to put them up, but a lot of times they're just not respected, So it's just kind of pointless. And as it blows through them, I just take them down. See, the fib picks that up there, so that's not even necessary. Then there's this one, which is actually where it's at, so that's interesting. It kind of respected it here too. And then we're kind of out of here. So it doesn't hurt to have it there. Now, when the market opens, we're going to have all the whole and half dollars marked up. So a lot of these, that's 55 cents. You might as well just call it 50, at the half dollar there. Now the rest of these are just a little bit of enough off of it, because you really only want, you only need 10 cents on a movement here. You need 10 cents right here. 10 to 15, and then you want to get out, reading the news down here. So that's Tesla. We're not going to do AMD. Did Apple. Let's take a look at Nvidia. That's still dropping. Starting to come back up. Yeah, AMD dropped way off. But Tesla's right back where it was. So it's kind of weird because they do move in concert, but they're not really moving that way today. Well, you must have extreme fibs over here somewhere. Here they are. All right. Do I have this set for more than... Yes, I do. Okay. Something was wrong there. Which makes me suspect the other ones I marked. Suspect, should I say, the other ones I marked. 50 cents. I'm going to take the 50 cents over the 48 cents there. Just like this one. Let's just take the 183. More people will do that. I'll do the same thing. We'll do the even dollar. Sometimes I do that just to, because I know more people are going to be watching those levels. This is about trading with the crowd. You read Tom Hogarth's book, he basically says everybody's an idiot, so don't trade with the crowd because they're 90% of them are wrong. So why would you want to do that? Well, I think when he wrote that book, in fairness to him, things have changed a bit, but I don't want to put words in his mouth. He may completely disagree with me still, but I do think that for scalping and quick intraday trades, you really want to, even though the crowd might be stupid, you can kind of count on them being stupid together. If that makes sense. So, when they're wrong, you get to be right, So knowing where the stupidity is going to happen is helpful, So you can look at his book a different way. I mean, it is called The Best Loser Wins, right? So it kind of says it all, doesn't it? Let's see, that one picks it up here. And then trading in the zone, it's like you want to count on. He says you want to count on, Tom Hogarth says you want to test it and see 20 trades win in a row on your strategy. And then Mark Douglas says you need to be prepared that 20 trades go against you. So it's a sort of a, now Mark Douglas came out first, so you kind of think like, well, Tom Hogarth read Mark Douglas's book quite clearly, and he's giving a different message. And when you write a book, you never want to say the same thing somebody else is saying, right? You're afraid you're going to get called out for that. I don't know. There's not any real historical data calling it where the price action is right now. I mean, that fib picked that up. I hit that level. This is kind of being smoothed here, but these fibs are picking up. This level that I might do right there was a double tap, but it picked it up right there. This fib is kind of picking up there. So this is well marked. I don't like to do a lot of pre-market levels. Oh, that one hit there though, didn't it? So that might shoot up, and that could be a spot where it turns around. And then you're wondering, why did it turn around there? Well, it turned around the day before right there, sprang up on Friday and went right down right at that level, and that level was where the pre-market marked a high too. Let's get back to Tesla. I want to do something here on Tesla. Okay, this is what I've been recovering with every day, and normally I say don't trade this stock, but I'm thinking if we start off with this, we may be better off right from the very beginning. Now, with anything, I want to make sure that we wait for consolidation somewhat, we wait for consolidation. So this had an opening of 228.80. So I'm a penny off there. That's a 30-minute breakout. So we'll go ahead and put that in. And then this closed at 228.78. Wow. That's like nothing. That's a really doji kind of thing. This is kind of worthless. Whatever, I'll mark it. But it's just kind of dumb because it's too tight. If you did the 5 minute, let's do the 5 minute. On a 5 minute chart, you do the pre-market breakout. That's the from day trading volume 4. Strategy 1 would be right in this general area here. This level. God, should I trust that level? I don't want to trust that level. That's an algorithmic trade right there. There's a bunch of shares dumped. There's a lot of market manipulation that you have to watch out for. You know, there's just a lot of it. I mean, this is really more the high. And is this before 7? Is this taking away my time down there? No. I don't know where the time is on this. Oops. That's detached so that can run along the bottom there. Why that's not there? Why is that not showing up? What have I done wrong here? Do the, let me do this one. There we go. I was looking for these times down here. Yeah, so this is the low. We can take this low right here. That's not past 9:15, is it? No. All right, so this is generally the low here. So that closed at 237.82, right where I'm at. Okay. So this would be the strategy number 1 from day trading volume 4. Those breakout levels, which might be something that's a little more to watch out from, those 30-minute breakout levels. Then there's a 5 minute, the first 5 minute candle, and then the first 15-minute candle. These are where the majority of people wait to get in or out at breakout levels. You get that book, Day Trading Volume 4. That's like the revolutionary book for trading the open, just showing you how to do the historical data based on the breakout levels, then calling out the breakout levels that the majority of traders use based on, you know, that kind of data. So we got 5 minutes, and I'm trying to. I think I'm going to trade this at the open, guys. I'm just, and then we'll look for a consolidation. I'm going to try to make a move here. So. I mean, this is down now, so you would think that this would spike up off this level if it does a quick breakdown and then go up. But I just generally want to see. It's kind of on the higher end of how it's been doing, but it's definitely not as high because it went up into the 340s. Yeah, Tesla sink worldwide. I don't know. It's so hard to read the news on Tesla. It's so emotional the way it's just really hard to pick. That's why trading it at the open's kind of idiotic, which is, what I'm prone to do sometimes. So you have to be prepared for that and take your own trades, obviously. So I'm going to look for specific things that might trigger what I do here, and just do it. Or not. I might decide not to do it. So how's that for a definitive teacher? Remember, I want to make money too, and I'm hoping that my knowledge of making money doing this can be transferred, but I can't guarantee it, and I can't worry about you. I can't, or I would just die of an ulcer. I can't. I do worry is the problem, but I can't. I have to shut it down. I got enough people close to me that I have to worry about. But hopefully just seeing, what I do can help you to find your own path for this. So I will be looking at the risk oscillator up here, really right here mostly, and then this when I'm in, to help take my trades. Often I'll just look at the open as well. And then it's sort of like this. It's sort of like a circle here. Like if you start with the scalping indicator, you make like a little egg shape, something like that. That's what I'm looking at. You want the multi-chart alignment, so every 5 minutes is marked with a vertical line, and then over here it's telling you how overall everything's doing. Right now it wants to take it to go up with it, so I probably would take a dip, and if there's any kind of a dip, and then ride it up. But I don't have reverse on because I typically don't do that with this style of trading. There we go. I want those two next to each other. So we're about a minute away, guys. I hope everybody gets good luck today. Why are people texting me when they know I'm live? That was a dumb text. Okay. Here we go. Will it dip at all, or will it just take off? I don't think I'm going to use the ladder to go in here. I'm going to wait to see, and then I'll do ask or bid if it's moving in a certain direction that I want to go, but I'm not going to call it. I mean, I guess I'd go in a dip down here. 2880. Yeah, but I'll just pick it up on the bid if it flies down there. Hopefully. I would probably pick it up at this level to try to go long, but it's counterintuitive, so what's it going to do? Man, look at it go up, huh? Look at it go up. That's $3 that went up. The news wasn't exactly good, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Don't really want to short that right now, guys. Not with that kind of move. But it does seem to be stalled. Seems to be pulling back. The only way to get in this would be market, and how badly would it torture me here on a market? I'm going to go ahead and short it. Yeah, I'm not liking it. I'm going to get out. Okay, so that was a bad trade. Yep. it could just take off. So I'm not gonna ride that to $200 down. And all right, so I gave it a shot at the open, and now the only way to sort of to read this would be to continue to go up with it, maybe on a dip down at the 332. Well, it already blew by it. Yeah, it's just gonna go up. That's what it wants to do. It would have been great to catch that. I don't know how many people caught it, but that are in our group here, but that would have been awesome. I'm going to try to get in down there and hope that it's not done going up. This is the problem with trading the open. It's like it's a real crapshoot. I didn't have any data, that this was going to continue to go up. I'm just... Luckily, I'm only doing 50 shares, so it can't hurt me too much, right? Let's try to get green and then reassess if it gets me green. That was a little green, but I kind of like a little more green than that green. I'll just take a little green there. So $16 green out of all that grief, but at least it's green. So the half and whole dollar lines came in. That's what the big mess is. So do we keep trying to play this long and look for dips? Sure does look like it. It's breaking the 33. Pretty hard there. Tried to get in there at even, 33 even. Okay. Let's take a look up here. So that's 33.43. The high is 68. See if we can break the high on this move. Going for the high on this move, guys. So that's 68. There was 50. It stalled at the 50 cents. Yeah, I'm just going to take that if I can get it there, because it seems to be not consistently going up. So we'll look for a dip again. That's where it makes me want to start using the ladder, because even when I'm doing the bid and I get off like 10 cents of where I want it to be, Keeping the share size low to go with this strategy, which is 25% of the position to go in right there. Trying to pick it up at the 39 on a spring. Now, the fact that it's slowing down to consolidate is probably generally good news. So we got our first $50. I don't know if you guys are attempting to trade this. It's probably wise not to. There's a bit more of a retracement. Off that fib might be a good spot to grab it. Yeah, I'm going to try to get in down there. I got it at 50 cents. Tried to get out for a quick $10 there before it keeps going down, but it's gonna mess me up here. That's it. It's going to pick me up there. There's a swale. Come on. See, you're right. I'm right there. You just don't stop now. Pick me up for a tiny little profit there. Oh, my God. You're punishing me. Should have just sold market. I'm at 50 cents. Looking at the market maker. Do anything for me here. Really stopping. Stock using that fib as a resistance, honestly, at the 50 cent and then the fib. So I'm going to get out of this for a loss in a second. I don't like the way it's looking. Keeps making lower lows. Yeah, I'm just going to take it for a loss. So I lost from 50 bucks down to 28. It's going down. So not sure we want to keep looking at this one for now. We want to get past the 11th minute. So that whole beginning was exciting and fun, but it was not much of a profit-making thing. Had I held it, I would be down to a whole 50 bucks there when it got to the 50 cents here. So MACD is turning it around. That's the MACD, so that's an important indicator to read. It's saying it's not done going down. So is the buy-sell oscillator now. So one is based on the EMA crossovers, the other is based on the RSI. And they both said this should go back down, but it's so early that the data could be skewed from the pre-market. Remember, guys, this is a lower share size stock because it can punish you really quickly. It's making a nice rickshaw man with a MACD sending it down. Market magnets looks like it wants to pull it up here though, which is interesting. There's the magnet right there. We're at the bottom level of it, giving it support. It's a little early for these indicators to read much because they're skewed by pre-market data. Yeah, it's just still going down now. Let's take a look at Nvidia to see if we have any kind of consolidation action over here. Nope, that went straight up too, huh? Oh yeah, AMD went up too. Okay, so yeah, so Morgan Stanley puts Nvidia 206. So that's a catalyst. Not much of one, but it's a catalyst. So if we play it long biased and look for a consolidation, this might be a safer one to kind of watch. We're right at the top of the ATR. So our quarter position is 125 shares. We'll make it 100 shares. And is it going to break that ATR? This would typically be where I would turn around, but I just getting in to look at this. I think I'm ready to go short on this quite yet. I need a little more consolidation action. So we're coming up on the 10-minute, which is usually when I look to get in on a consolidation pattern on the 11th minute if we have a pattern. So we've got, if it uses this as a channel, so we've got a fib up to the top of the market magnet and then now the ATR. This might be a nice channel if it stays here. I mean, 82 is fairly high for it. It did go out, it went down off the ATR. What are we moving here? We're only moving like, well, that was a 7-cent move. Yeah, I would tend to buy if it got down here anywhere and then go ahead and take the first trade. So let's see if it's, I'm going to go ahead and get in down there, 27 cents, 25 cents, even better than I thought. Try to make a baby move here, get it to back up to that ATR. Come on, Thinkorswim, don't freeze. Why are you freezing? Jesus. I'll just get out there at 14 bucks. That's the kind of stuff you don't want, is the freezing stuff that it tends to do. We'll do it again, click it up again, got it at 21 cents this time. So looking for this bouncing recovery level, you know, for off of this, it's making a little channel here. I don't know how good that historical data is, but so far I'm loving it. Made a nice tweezer move right there too. So if it breaks that ATR, be careful. If it starts to fade, let's get in for a short. Whoa. Okay, be careful. There she goes. Yep, I'd be more inclined to be long biased and wait for a dip down here again. It's not going to go as far probably, but let's see. 50 cents it's holding at. 48 on the market maker, 46. It's staying real strong here. Now we're near the higher end of Nvidia, so be careful how strong a long bias you want. I wish I would have shorted off that. I almost did. It hit it so powerfully that I thought it might just keep going. You know how that happens. It's stair steps. So I'm looking to get in again down here as it drops. Waiting for a better move for it to drop. Nope, there it goes. Now I'm going to sell the ask and see if I can get it picked up at 74. Yeah. So that was just a quick short. This is what scalping looks like. You just try to get 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. If you've made the PDT rule, you can easily afford to margin this many shares of this stock. We'll come back to Tesla if this starts to take too long to do anything. If it just starts to sit here, then it's almost as bad as getting it the wrong way. You just waste so much time watching something, waiting for a move. Does not want to fade too much off that level, huh? 33, 35. Okay, let's get it down into the 20s. I'm going to take that if I can get it. Okay. So now this could be the time it says, we're going to go lower now. Who do you think you are, predicting our moves? It's really slowing down. See, I was just consolidating across here. I got it at a pretty good level. I mean, I'm just even below the 23. I'm at 21, 22. I'm right there at that level. So we're looking for it to bounce up here, back to where it was. Here it goes. You look at the 5 minutes, like, hey, it's just starting to retrace. So you could look at it differently. Like, this is a risky move. It may want to go down to that fib, but it doesn't look like it. It is fading off. I don't want to see it break the $82. It broke it. Okay. So it needs to recover off that, or I'm just going to get out. 82 gave it some spine. The even dollar. It's going back up. No? Holding it for, if only, I don't want to take a bigger loss going down if I'm only taking little loss and little profits going up. So getting ready to get out for a small loss if it keeps hovering here and breaking that 82 down. Here it comes. Let's get back up there. Get back up to the 50 cents. No, don't turn it around in the momentum. That's the momentum indicator that tried to turn it around right there. And it successfully did. Oh. This is a terrible spot to just sit. Let's not just sit here. Oh, God. Just getting ready to get out of this. It needs to make some moves here. Come on, guys. This is what Nvidia does. It just grinds sometimes, and Here at the lower end of where you can even make a buck, you know. Do I seem impatient? I want to get there under the time that we have, so you pick the right stock to get quick profits. I mean, this could just go up all day, obviously. It's just a little pullback right now on the 5-minute, coming back up. There it goes. I really kind of want to wait for the 50 cent up here. There's 38. On the ask, it hit 38 for a second. It came back down. Definitely stronger move up right now. Probably try to get out just before the 50. I'll try to get out right there. Yeah, there we go. Just because it might fade off that level. Okay, so it took a while, but it made a profitable trade for us. The question is, do I stick with this? So we're looking at 2 to 3 minute moves rather than 10 to 15 second moves. That's the difference. I'd be at the exact same profit or loss the way it's moving, you know, in the last 30 seconds since I got out. It does seem like it's going to keep going up, but it's just like maybe better to try to grab it on a dip, pocket what money there was. Yeah, there's more the level that would have been better to get out at the, but you know, that right there shook out a lot of people, just took their profit. So 8260 is the ATR level. Oh, here comes the magnet. It's going to pull it up. Boom. You see how fast that disappeared? People were taking profits really quick there. We get a dip here? Get a bigger dip than that? Or is that the dip? That was the dip, huh? 36 cents at best. 82.36. There it goes down again. Hit 36 again on the bid. Oh, it's just really just messing with those little baby moves here. Tesla's still going up. I mean, this is safe to trade. It's, you know, this is very safe to trade. It's just boring. So it got down to 82 even. Right around there, it snapped on the fib. So the better place to go long would be, safer place would be wait for the 82 if we want to wait that long. That was already a 10-cent trade. If we picked it up down here, 15-cent, 20-cent trade. I had it at 21 before, right below this level. And it took forever to make a profit, and it just stayed down here, remember? So there's definite memories of that being able to happen again pretty easily. No new news since Morgan Stanley's news. There's the position I had it before. Do I want to go through that whole debacle again? I'd like to get a way lower level, closer to the 82. There's 15, 14, 13, 11. I'll try to get it there. I got it at 9. So, going it for 9. Take a little trade there in case it's going to keep bouncing down to the 82. And I should have held it longer. I didn't think it was done doing its shenanigans, but there it goes. Okay. Oh, well, it would have been a bigger trade. There it goes back down. What did I have it at? 10 cents before? Yeah. So there's 12 on the bid, 11, 9. Back where I was here. Can it go a little lower this time? Give me a little lower dip. No? Well, already would have made me 10 cents. Looking for a lower dip. No, cancel. It picked me up too fast. I know I didn't like that position to 13. I did not like that position. tried to cancel that order, but I didn't cancel it fast enough. I thought I had it like 06 roughly, where it's sort of stalling right now, and then it hit below. Okay, there we go. There's a painful. So that fib is at 93, and another one's at 83. Might go to half position if it starts to go up here. If it continues to drop below that fib, though, I'm probably just going to get out for a loss. Yeah, I'm going to get out. That's too bad. Okay, so we lost some of our money there, but let me go back to Tesla and see. I mean, in some ways that's good, you know, what it just did there, because it might be coming back down to consolidate in a channel. This is a big 5-minute channel here. Hoping you guys are watching your max loss. I'm not running as much accurate today for sure. So let's see. Nice fib channel. I think I will mark that level right there. Kind of hit it over here too. Slowing down here to go back up. Almost got it. Almost got it there. Yeah. Definitely had two reversal signs, and then, you know, we were right at a $0.50 there. It looked good to go long there. So short would be up here. Look good for me. Up at the fib level, so I have to wait. Stopping at the even dollar right now. It's a pretty wide channel here, so you have to be careful here. That's, you know, this is $2 between the two fibs, so 50 shares. That's $200. To make the 500 with this style of trading under the small share size that I set it at to be for your PDT, takes an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to like $500. You do this back and forth for a bit, then you get on a run with, you know, 5-7 trades that are each making you $20-30, and then suddenly you've got a big cushion, $200 to $300. It seems easier when you have a cushion. You know, you don't seem to be as worried about the trades, but of course that can work against you. I would definitely grab it at the $31 even, but it's stalling. It's stalling at the 50 cents, man. Look at that. So let's see if we can get a short up here at maybe the 32.50. Or up to the fib, depending on how hard it hits the 50 cents. It's really consolidating right here in between this level, 32 even to 31.50. It's making a nice channel here. There we go. Can we get a little higher up there? 36, 39 on the ask. There it goes. That was it. Still a little hesitant. I'm not quite in the zone for this switching stocks here. Market split. It's going down on the 15-minute. This is a great indicator, the market pulse. The multi-chart alignment on Tesla is all up. So 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, they're all seeing up. Well, until just that happened. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and try that there because it keeps springing up from there, hoping that it's going to do it again. Got some of that money. I was up to $50 at one point on this stock, so I'm getting a little bit back there. So it's just made a nice little area right here to go long, and then up here is where you want to go short, but you want to have a fail-safe if it keeps going against you either way. But the lower you can get it, you know, the better to go long, and the higher to go short. So closer to 32.50 to go short. I mean, it's starting to just really make a channel, which it may stay in for a while. And then what it does is usually if it acts like a typical larger mega cap, it'll channel hop, and it kind of gives you a warning. And then it starts to consolidate kind of in another channel, either above or below. And that's channel trading. That's scalping. Channel trading as day trading volume 1, the book describes about the channel trading. But then scalping is just general knowledge that any strategy you want to adapt, how you scalp, you know, which comes down a lot to share size, adding, getting out at partials, or getting out the full amount. You read Tom Hogarth's book, you never get out partials. You know, it just, everybody has their own little thing. It's what works best for you. If you're momentum trading and just going straight up, buy high, sell higher, buy high, absolutely makes sense to get in partial, get out partial. Looking for that 32.50 to anywhere near that to go short. But it's testing it. So once it gets up there, you got to be worried it doesn't do a breakout, which could be all the way up to 33.43. Look at that. I mean, that's why you got to be careful. 32.70 would be where I'd be worried if I got in just below 50 and it got up there. I'd be like, just don't even mess with it. You got to catch these right so you don't keep losing, you know, making 30, losing 20, like, you know, so it doesn't just take all day. This is a way you can mess with the market maker, where you can literally do constant trading with hotkeys or whatever, and make, you know, 20 cents, like on every trade. And what happens is they just shut you down. They say no more trading for you, my friend, because you're doing like 500 trades and 1,000 trades. And you're just doing it so fast, you know. You just, because the market maker will split the penny, and you know. That's why when you see me do on the accounts that are, okay, darn, I missed it there. I'm going to go ahead. There we go. So I'm going to, whoa, that flashed down fast there for a second. I'll try that. There we go. It even showed it before it did the money there. Look how fast that went down, huh? Boom. Wish I'd held it longer, huh? So, yeah, we're looking down here. Whoa. Yeah, I lost track of where I was going for. It was the 50 cent, yeah. So it was pretty low down there. I didn't pick it up. Already would have been a profitable trade. Okay, there we go. I just keep taking the baby steps that I know are green wins and not holding out for bigger ones, because we don't really know, You know, we just don't know where it's going to fade, you know. I'm not trading it like the RV strategy where I'm waiting for bigger moves, you know. I'm just trying to get $8, $10, $15. And this is not good. Ouch. So it's going to make, we don't want to see it break the fib. That's at 52. That would be a $100 loss for me. And now we're at 83. No. See, this is what we don't want to happen. Now I could hold through this. What are we at? We're already at 10:02. So I keep trading differently because of the time. As we break up, let me look at the, if it breaks through the 31. Tempted to get into half my share size if it's going to do that. Yeah, and there it goes. And unfortunately, that wasn't exactly where I wanted that to happen, but it sprang up way too fast. It went 15 cents above the where I wanted it to go there. So when I grabbed it, I mean, but I got into half my share size. And now we're just waiting for a spike up, but it may not give it to us. I bought in as it went up, but it went up like 25 cents when I pressed that buy, and it just put me in a much worse position. I thought I'd be at like 31.15 roughly. That was a very small market trade because I should have gone sell ask, but so we'll get back down to a quarter position, look for to go short. That 83 held it firm. Look at that, huh? So we broke $100, right? But because of the other stock, but man, it takes a little longer, it seems, to get the gold and the time I have allotted to trade with you guys. So I'll go a little further here. So if you're with me on Tesla, I'm going to look to short as high as we can get it up here and just wait the move here. It is definitely still consolidating. So you can see 80x, this is definitely a trend upward. But we're below the VWAP here, so mixed signals. Yeah, all the reports today were technical analysis hasn't been working lately, but now it's saying how to trade the SPY. Tried to get in on that. Okay. So now I've got to sweat the opposite direction to see what it's going to do. Let's see if we can pull it back down into here, get a little bit bigger trade. Looking for a little bit bigger trade on this one. Let's see if it pulls back down. Definitely reversal sign on the 5-minute. Keeps hitting that 32 hard. Buy sell oscillators. Whoa, boy. Says it's done. That was at the 70 cents. Oops. There's a reversal sign. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot there because it looked like it was going to reverse on me there. Add into half share size. Oh, no. And then that happened. And then you got a stick in the eye. Full share size is 200. You will not see me do that unless we see a real reversal. It's time to pull back off this consolidation level. So obviously the price numbers get higher when you have more shares. And what is it going to do to me? Taking away the profits. Here we go. Let's get down there. Let's do a big drop below the fib. Come on. You're just starting to go back down. Let's get all the way back down. Into the 3150 zone, right? It's definitely making a reversal sign, but no, not if it ends up green. Looks like it was going to make a red rickshaw man there on the 1 minute. We may be taking a big chance trade here and go up to share size too. You can see here this is not looking good for me. So let's see. It's just a short-term trade. We barely held this thing. So really respected that 43 level quite a few times and turned around there, which is just about a buck off my position. Making a tweezer move here on the way down. Let's break that fib. It did. That's good. There we go. Don't use that as support. You want to break down. There you go. You're going to hit it with some authority. Break that 50-cent level. Down here. There's the 9, there's the 14, there's the 20. I'd love to see some action come in below the magnet here, but probably not going to happen. Got close to an even position there, but is that really what we want? No, we want to make money. Buy-sell oscillators turning it around as well as it tries to go back up. Then you've got the even dollar right there, saying don't pass us again, but it did. That is the risk oscillator trying to turn it around there with that off red colored arrow. So the target's higher going up than going down, which I don't like to see. Does seem like it's trying to channel hop, and I'm on the wrong side of it. Like it's trying to make a new channel up here between these two levels, and I'm above that, the fib. So, I mean below the fib, but above. You know, my price action's wrong for that. Yeah, it's making a new consolidating level up here. It just did this channel hop here. Here's where it was channeling. It made off that tweezer move. It broke it. So we want to see it break down again. This is what can happen. You can get caught on the wrong end of it, and then you can't trade because you're stuck in the move. And then so you wonder, like, should I just get out, take a loss, and start doing these little trades here? Or is it going to suddenly, you know, correct and come back down to the channel that it was in? You keep hoping. And the other thing it does a lot is it channel hops, and then it channel hops again. And now it's hurting me. How long do I hold this move? Well, Tesla talks about a new model. Is that exciting enough to make it shoot straight up? I would think not, but who knows with Tesla. Now break that fib on the way. There you go. Go, go, go. Drop, drop, drop. Keep dropping. You're not done dropping. Get back down. Seems like this is where you would take a long, you know, like it is in a new channel. I probably just should get out of this trade and for some kind of a tiny profit if I can get it. There was a little bit of one. That didn't pick me up. There we go. I should have been picked up there. Wow. That was bogus. You know, if I press market, it's going to slip like 10 bucks. I was at about 70 bucks, right? Before I took this stupid trade. Yeah, made $9 after all that. And watch it go down. Yeah. Well, yep. We can still hang out for a minute more. I was not convinced that it was going to keep going down, guys. So I'm just trying to figure out where to go long here. If that's going to be the area, which is right in the middle of the whole and half dollar. 26. This seems to be its new channels up here, so going long right about down there. That's really, yeah, it seemed like that's where it's going to turn around. See the magnet's about to pull up. You see that? That's going to kind of, that's like a springboard. But it went the opposite way. Wow, look at that action come in right there. That's interesting, huh? Everything went down. That's at the 87, 82, 62. We're going to come back down to the 30.83. Oh, that's a whole dollar further down for me to wait for the perfect entry. I don't think it's going to go that far down. Should have picked it up down there. Here comes the magnet, going to pull it up again. I'm going to try to get in right there at 89 cents. Nope. All right, I'm pulling out because it's not looking the same as it did a second ago for my level 2. There we go. Let's get a drop to the 60 cent area. 60 cent on the bid, somewhere in the 60 cents. I'll snag it. Looking for the 60 cent area. Come on. Drop down there. It keeps swelling like 20 cents, you know. There's a reversal sign right there, guys. I'm going to try to grab it here. Try to get it there, 72. All right, I got it at 72 because I think it's about to make a big move up. It's close to the 32. Let's get it close to the 32 range, 332. Right off the 332 because it might reverse it. It's reversing on this doji, and there's the magnet right there, but this is the bottom of the magnet telling it it's like wants to go back up. So there's 95 on the ask. That was not an indicator I wanted to see. 2 reversal signs down here as it came down. Any position around here is good to go long, in my opinion. It's about to spring up, guys. Here we go. There's at 99, so I'll just take it at the 99 if I can get it. 97. Oh, you see how it... And there it goes. It was making a flat top. I should have waited a second longer. I saw it right as I hit the sell. I'm like, why are you getting out at the even? Yeah, if it dips again, you know, I'll get back in it. There was 86. I don't think we're going to get below, and we're not going to get to the 60s again. Yeah, it's making its move. For those of you that hung on, good for you. It's making a bigger move. I'm going to look for a dip down here again by chance and just see, but maybe it's just going to start stair-stepping up from this turnaround here. Just trying to be a little more conservative off the even dollar, at least off the even dollar, but that'd be good to get it down the 80s, 3180-ish, you know, so you're not too far out of position if it keeps dropping, but it's not going to keep dropping. So then you look to go short. Then I'm switching my thought process, like, well, when do I want to go short, you know? Still going up. I get too conservative and wait for a better dip, you know. Now, obviously, if we had higher share size like I might normally be trading, it'd be, you know, a bit more money. Now, there's a reversal to go back down. So let's see. You see the buyers dropped here, and they dropped below the volume. So, you know, this is telling you that it's going to turn around. So did the risk oscillator say it's going to turn around. Target going down is higher than going up. So going short up in this area as it continues to spring up is going to break the 70. Now this is where I waited. This is where I got stuck before. So I'm going to get it to get a little higher before I even think about it. To go short. So there's the 333 even. Let's see. I'd like to see it break up there toward 333.50 in that zone before I short it again. Just broke 333. Now, a lot of you could be saying, well, if he thinks it's going to go up there, then I'm just going to go long. And that's not a bad strategy. You know, definitely not a bad strategy. Well, he's waiting for it to get up there, so I'll just go up with it. There's a thing called front running, you know, when you're doing large share size that, and if you're telecasting it, you know, that people can just literally destroy your plan. You know, it is not 50 shares isn't going to do that, you know, but it's one of the reasons why the large trading size is delayed. You know, you just don't want, you know, 2,000 people to hear you say that are all willing to drop 2,000 or 3,000 shares at once, hear you say what level you're waiting for, you know, what your group of 50 traders are going to do, you know, because then they can jump ahead for the price action, then it gets you a much worse price. Here we go. Okay, a little higher. A little higher. I'm going to take it there if I can get it. At 11 cents? No, I'm canceling that order. Already had a profit there, but it didn't pick me up. And there it goes. Darn. Wow, that is a serious reversal sign. It's going to close that way? No, it's going to close green. Okay. That's what they call a rickshaw man, and it's pretty strong of a reversal sign. There we go. Finally, it picked me up. Now, did I want it to? I want it to drop below the 33 again. Nice big move down. A little lower than that, please. Waiting it out. So continuing to do this, you slowly get the money you need for a living. Just be conservative, and you're going to lose some of your trades and it's going to go against you, but then you climb back up with your accuracy by just watching the levels and the support and resistance and the price action. Sometimes just take baby losses or baby wins if it's just not seeming to. See, to me, it already should have come down here. So I'm getting more and more worried that it's continuing to stair step up against me. So I need something to confirm that it's going to go down, or I'd rather just take a lesser loss or a tiny profit and not mess around, with this waiting for a bigger dip. Then the second you make that decision, it will go your direction, but you'll be out of it because that's how it works. Oh, man, come on. Come on, you're going to fade here. You are. You know why I took that trade? Because that was over $100. But I don't think it's going to pick me up. There it goes. Come on. There we go. It's almost funny, really. So I have not made the 150 yet, but I will come back and trade this after I finish with my next trading session, guys. So I hope you're doing good wherever you're trading, using this basic support and resistance price action type of trading. I almost hesitate to call it a strategy, but this is probably where I'll be in a while from now. I'll be just coming back and trading this for, to try to get higher amounts of money here. So, all right, guys, once again, thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you're doing good. All right. So stay inquisitive and go green out there, guys. I'll talk to you soon.